can't hear you. Good evening. That's more like it. Well, good evening. My name is Carl Lainanen, and I have the privilege of being the Master of Ceremonies for this evening. And on behalf of the Rally Maine 2002 organization, I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to come here tonight. Now, I want to conduct a little informal survey. Who here is from Southern Maine, south of Augusta? Let's hear some applause. How about the other end of the state, Northern Maine? How many came down from the county? How about Washington County? Anybody here from Washington County? Okay. Now how about, folks, how many people are here from the Augusta, Gardner, Waterville area? Well, that's great. That's really terrific to see so many people here on a Thursday night. We have a special evening planned for you in support of some great candidates. Candidates like Tom Allen in the 1st Congressional District, Michael Michaud in 2nd Congressional District, Shelley Pingree, U.S. Senate, and John Baldacci for governor. Now, one of the traditional duties of a Master of Ceremony is to warm up the audience with a few jokes while we wait for special guests. Now, to be honest, I heard the groans already. Those are the people that know me, and they know telling jokes is not my forte. Not only do I never remember the jokes, I'm still working on trying to figure out why did the chicken cross the road? See, I told you. To make up for my lack of comedic ability, we've arranged for someone who's a whole lot funnier than me to entertain you, and that's Gary Crocker. Before Gary begins, is James Demchek. We need you to report to the front ticket area. James Demchek. Please report to the front ticket area. Thank you. Now, obviously a few of you guys know Gary. I can tell by the ones leaving. But Gary Crocker is a Maine native who was born in Lewiston and currently resides in West Gardner, I think is how you pronounce it, isn't it? West Gardner. Now, he wrote this whole long thing I'm supposed to read to you. Not that he's vain or anything. But let me just tell you that Gary has appeared throughout New England and across the country in such places as San Francisco, Dallas, Orlando, Chicago, and folks from Chicago up there. And now get this, folks, he's also appeared in Spearfish, South Dakota. Now that's pretty impressive, Gary. He's the only Maine humorist to be invited to address the Maine legislature 4 times. And recently released his first comedy CD. Is this a plug, Gary? This is a plug, folks, a shameless plug. His first comedy CD titled Riding Across Maine, Looking for Laughs. Gary believes in the power of humor to improve almost any situation, and he's here with us to share some Down East stories in the classic Maine tradition. Please join me in welcoming Gary Crocker, a real Maine-grown, homegrown humorist.
Hear me good up there. Can you hear me way upstairs? Good. We got a sharp group here tonight, mister. Now listen, go too far. I want to tell you about a little discussion I had with Mother, who's right down front here somewhere. My wife and I live in West Gardner, Maine on a dirt road, and we're quite proud of that. It's quite snappy out there, but I will tell you this. 2 newlyweds just moved in next door. Mother and I were standing out next to the mailbox this morning getting our paper. And I'm standing there looking at them newlyweds, and that fella is all over his wife, he's hugging her and kissing her and carrying on. He can't hardly quit to get in the car and go to work. Finally, after it goes on for about 10 minutes, he finally breaks away, gets the car and drives away. My wife turns to me and says, "Why don't you do that?" I said, "Mother, I hardly know the woman." I also asked my wife, I said, "Listen, if I want a main humorist out working day and night, earning money, coming home and talking before the President of the United States gets to talk and all that stuff, would you still love me?" She goes, "That's a stupid question. Of course I'd still love you." I'd miss you a lot, but I'd still love you. Now, before I go any further, I want to teach everybody here a little something, and I hope you can see me from way up back, but in a crowd like this, it's wicked important for you to look important. I know everybody comes in, you can tell the important people, they're talking in their sleeve and stuff like that. I saw two of them fellas out back, and they weren't even involved with the whole thing yet. But the thing that I like, when I go to a group in South Dakota or anywhere else that's a big-time place in this country, I look around, just like I did tonight, you can tell the important people just like that. You know how, don't you? In a high-tech world that we live in, Mr. Man, the important people stand right out because they get a cell phone hanging there, they get a beeper hanging there, they're somebody. Well, I'm not important, I'll never be important. I can see the strain on important people's faces, they're right behind me here. But I'll tell you right now, I want to look important when I go to town, so you know what I do, don't you? I wear my garage door opener, just like that. Yeah, that's the turbo model from Sears and Roebuck in my garage door in West Garden, going up and down right now. Scares the daylights out of the cats. I do want to, I'm in a particular good position tonight to make some comments about state government, and I want to do that right now. Before I get to run out of the place, I want you to know that state government has risen to the challenge of customer service. Now, everybody in the private sector knows that when you're dealing with the public, you've got to make sure that everybody is satisfied every time you deal with them. Well, some state agencies years ago didn't have that attitude, but they've changed their whole approach. For one thing, I'll tell you, the warden service has really stepped up to the plate in terms of customer service. For instance, I am, just so you know, I am a registered Maine poacher. There's 2 or 3 others right down front right here. Fella, you know, a warden picked up a fella poaching in West Gardner last week, and he said, you know, if you'll find me, give me a list of people that's poaching in this area, you know, I'll let you go. And the next morning, he met the fella met the warden for breakfast. He handed him the West Gardner phone book right there. Don't drive to West Gardner unless you expect trouble. But anyway, I got to tell you what they've done. See, most state agencies wouldn't do this, but you might have to, some state agencies you'd have to go line up to get registered for this, that, or the other thing. The warden service does not require that kind of activity on your path. They are absolutely committed to customer service. They will meet you wherever. If you want to be a registered poacher, all you can do is go out in the woods and poach. They'll come do the paperwork right on the spot. But I will tell you who's even better at customer service than the warden service. That's the Maine State Police. No, I'm not kidding. In my history, the Maine State Police have had a history of every time I was in a hurry to get somewhere, and maybe it was just me, but it seemed like every time I was in a hurry, that's when they wanted to stop beside the road and chat. Well, they don't do that anymore. I run into it by accident. They aren't promoting this whole program that they've got underway. It's called an escort service. Now, the way it works, I was late going from Bangor down to Lincolnville, give a talk to that MBNA crowd down there, and I was going 80 miles an hour. I'd have gone faster, but the fellow in front of me wouldn't go any faster. A Maine State trooper sitting beside the road, spotted my predicament, pulled in behind me, put his blue light on so that fellow would pull over and get out of the way. Yeah. Once he was parked beside the road, I got on in pretty good shape. I was going 110 when he put his siren on so no one else would get in front of me. At that point, I'd have thought, you know, in fact, when I got up to about 115, he put his siren on and we're really whistling, and that boy could drive. He stayed right with me all the way to Lincolnville. And you don't know, if he had not been committed to customer service, I'd have thought he'd have gave up on me and let me go when I pulled into the parking lot right there at MBNA. No. He was absolutely committed to customer service. He followed me right into the parking lot. Parked his cruiser right behind my car, jumped out of his cruiser, ran up, opened the door of my car, and helped me out of the car. Even offered me some new bracelets right on the spot. I will tell you this, that service is a tad pricey. Cost me $240 for that little trip. But I just wanted you to know tonight, if you absolutely have to be somewhere in the nick of time, the Mainstay Police will get it done. Don't hesitate. Take advantage of that service. By the way, I do need to mention one person. I am big on people visiting the state of Maine. I love them. God bless them. We need visitors. We are the vacation land. But there's one person that is nothing but an aggravation. And her name is Martha Stewart. That woman come to Maine with a bad attitude and it's our job to beat it out of her. By the way, if you're concerned about Martha's circumstance right now, don't you be afraid for a minute, because if Martha's convicted of anything, she's going to buy the prison, hire the help, and redecorate. You'll want to live there yourself. She'll even stencil a parking lot. It'll be wicked nice. But I want you to know that the boys at the Hinkley Boatyard down on the coast got a start on getting Martha straightened out. She jumped in that long limousine she's got there. That car's so long she ain't even met the driver. They drove all the way up to the Hinkley Boatyard and stopped right at the end of it there. She bailed out of that car, walked straight into the boatyard, and there was one fella standing right in the middle of the boatyard, short, stocky fella with a heavy-set portion above his belt there, 2 teeth and 1 good eye. She walked right up to him. She said, "Hey, you build them Hinkley boats here?" And he said, "Yes, we do." She said, "Well, I want one. I want a 40-footer so I can take both my friends for a boat ride." I personally think she was stretching the truth. He said, "Yeah, we can build you a 40-footer, no problem there." She said, "All right, how long is it going to be before I can take delivery? I want it quick so I can get it." The fellow thought for a minute, and he said, "Well, that'll be about 6 years. 6 years to build one boat? Why?" "Well," he says, "you're number 26. "What do you mean I'm number 26? She said, "Well, there's 25 people in front of you. We got to build them boats first, and then we'll build yours." That's when it got ugly. She looked down her mouth and nose at him and said, "Sir, do you know who I am?" He said, "Yes, I do, madam. You're number 26. We don't care who you are. We care how you treat us in the state of Maine. That's how we do business up here. I will tell you this." That's right. I will tell you this. Maine women are the most focused group of people on the planet. What did I tell you? The way I learned it, see, when a Maine woman gets an idea in her head, get used to it. It ain't going anywhere. Now, jamming a new idea in there can be tough sometimes, but once it's in, it's staying. I will tell you this, though. The way I learned it, my Uncle Wilbur passed away this last year. Wilbur was on his deathbed, and everybody knew it in town. Everybody was clear that Wilbur was passing away. Even Wilbur, he was happy, he was okay, he'd had a good life, he was 97 years old. And he was laying there on his deathbed, drawing what could have been his last breath, and they'd set up a kitchen right next to his room so that his wife Emma could take good care of him. And as he lay there drawing his last breath on this planet, he went, "What's that you're baking there, Mom?" She goes, "It's an apple pie, Wilbur." He goes, "Oh, Emma, you know I love apple pie. Can I get just a little sliver?" She says, "No, it's for the wake." Hard sledding. Speaking of hard sledding, I do want you to know this. Education in Maine is going, we are setting the bar right there. Every child in the state of Maine is going to go over that bar. Math, science, communications. We are committed to education at the highest levels for every one of our children. Now the bad news. The bad news. It's working great all over the state, except we had a little trouble in West Gardner. The Hickey boys got involved. Turns out Ronnie Hickey's the numbest boy in Maine. No, I'm not kidding, he's been tested. Ronnie was sitting about where this fella is, right up front, with that same deer in the headlight look you got going, sir. And the teacher was going on about mathematics. Ronnie wasn't getting it. Teacher could tell. Saw that glassy look. Teacher finally looked down and said, "Ronnie, you ain't getting it, are you?" And Ronnie said, "No, I'm not." She said, "Well, what if we put the education into context for something you do every day? Make it applied learning," which is a good way to learn. That's how we're going to take those children over that bar. We're going to do more applied learning. He said, "I'd probably do better." She said, "Well, what do you do every day?" And he said, "We cut firewood." "Oh, great." Firewood. Now let's see. I'll give a real basic thing to start with and we'll work our way up. Let's say firewood was $10 a cord and you buy $40 worth of firewood. How much firewood you got? Ronnie thought for a minute and he said, you got 3.5 cord. Teacher said, no, that's not right. He says, I know it's not right, but they all do it. I told that at a woodcutters convention in Vermont once. Didn't go that good, really. I will tell you this. A little warning for the holiday season coming out. Last year, Mother and I got all excited. We were going to have an absolutely 100% Maine Thanksgiving. We were going to grow all our vegetables right there in our own property. We were going to drive to Rooster County, get the best potatoes in the whole country. Absolutely. We went early. We went in July. We went down east, down to Washington County, get the best blueberries you can buy on the planet. Brought them back, made some pies, froze them, got ready. We were ready. All we needed was a turkey. And of course, we've got wild turkeys all over the state of Maine now. So we decided to send Wilbur, the best shot in the whole family, with that double-barrel shotgun out to get a turkey. I just want to make this announcement because I don't want anyone else making the same mistake that Wilbur did. Within 20 minutes of leaving the house, Wilbur was in trouble. It turns out, and I didn't know this, neither did Wilbur, that it's illegal to discharge a firearm inside Shaw's Supermarket. He did a lot of damage to that frozen food case. They still made him buy the turkey. And of course it's full of shot now, and being in Maine and the kind of meals we like to, well anyway, he brought it back to the trailer, Mother cooked it up, golden brown, the little thing popped out the side just like it was supposed to. Wicked heavy, it turns out, with all that shot in it. We served it up anyway, got all the shot we could out of it, but you know, Wilbur got a little too much of that shot, ate a little too much of it. He really got quite a bit of that buckshot down there with the turkey. And unfortunately, we served a lot of B&M baked beans along with it. The tragedy was that afternoon, Wilbur bent over and almost killed the canary on the other end of the room there. So be careful this fall. Don't be doing anything like that at Thanksgiving. It's not good. Now, I did bring something with me I want to share with you. Because, and I hope you, I know it's going to be difficult to see out there, and I don't know if you can see. I'll hold it up and see. I brought this with me. I wanted everyone, we have actually prepared the president to understand the Maine dialect. When people come to Maine, they want to do 4 things as quick as they can. They want to see a moose, and we got one chained in the toll booth down Kittredge. They want to eat a lobster, and we fed it to him on the plane. They want to shop at LL Bean, and we just brought him the stuff. And they want to hear somebody say, you can't get there from here. And in a good Maine accent, that sells, mister. They'll pay you to repeat that phrase. Well, the other day, Mother and I were out gomming around on Route 202, and a big car from away pulled up, and a fellow put the window, it was one of them big, heavy set cars, one of them big foreign cars, one of them Cadillacs. Fellow pulled up, put the window down, stuck his neck out that window of that car, and he says to me, he wanted to know if I knew anything, I think, so he says, hey, you lived here all your life? And I said, not yet. Namana post. When they come to Maine, I think they go away and save up stupid questions, bring them back to ask us. But he won't that, because when men were on vacation like he was, they borrowed their wife's brain to get by. That's what I do, darling. She's right down front, too. Now, I'll tell you right now, this fellow went back into the car and checked with his wife to get a second question. He went back in, he said, all right, I asked the fellow the first one, that didn't work. What do you want me to ask him now? And she said, well, just ask him. And she gave him another question. He came back out. I was still standing there waiting for the second question. They always come back. He says, fella, I don't care how long you've lived in Maine or nothing else. Just tell me this. How do you get to Bangor? And I said, well, my brother usually takes me. You know, you should be prepared to answer them questions in that manner in the event that you see an out-of-state car, especially from that other state that we set free in 1820. They still ain't over it. But I do want to prepare you, because if you get a chance to talk to the president, I just want, he's going to have his ear set for a down east accent. So I'm going to teach you a quick course in Aebonics. Aebonics works like this. The letter R, which we've dubbed around with for years, We put it on words where it doesn't belong, and that leaves holes where it should be. Like we say, ain't that a good idea? Let's go to Augusta. See, we shouldn't be doing that. So I'm